This message is a message to any parents out there, any grandparents, anyone with any friends with children, anyone that cares about the future of the human race must listen to this message. Now, before I go any further, I know there are going to be some people that believe in conspiracy theories, that think that the government have your best interests at heart. If you are one of these people, or if you're teetering on the edge of waking up and still being asleep, then I urge you to research the Mind Space document 2010 released by the UK government. It's all about mind control. It's out in the open. You can read this for yourself. If you really think that the government has your best interests at heart, go and read the Mind Space document 2010 and see for yourself. Now, this message that I want to share with you right now is about the children. This is serious, serious, serious. Now, the reason I'm sharing this message is to make you aware. So you as a human being, as a parent, as a grandparent, can make good choices, can make sovereign choices, can make choices that are going to help your child or your grandchild or the friend's child be safe. Because we are entering murky territory. And that murky territory is going to lead to deep, dark, disgusting territory. Now, there's another legislation that I urge you to read, and that legislation is the Coronavirus Act. The Coronavirus legislation 2020. CV19 2020. There is a legislation that has been passed, and I urge you in particular to go to Schedule 21, page 233. That's Schedule 21, page 233. Now, I want to run a little scenario past you, and I want you to listen very carefully. You get a phone call. You get a phone call from your child's headmaster. They say, hey, Miss Jones, Mr. Smith, your child has been taken to a COVID testing center because they've got symptoms. Now remember, these symptoms could be the flu, snivelly nose, common cold, something really simple that is not CV19. And they have the power to take your child away. Now your headmaster, the headmistress, they've just called you. They've said they've taken your child to the testing center. And you say, no, I'm coming to the school right now to see them. They say, no, you can't do that. They say, we've taken your child to a testing center where they're going to be tested for COVID-19. And you say to them, but this is my child. I'm coming to see them. They say, well, if you come to the school, we're going to call the police and have you forcibly removed. And you say, well, when am I going to see my child again? They turn around to you and they say, a care worker will be in contact with you to notify you of the situation. And you say, but this is my child. And they turn around and say to you, we can legally take your child. There's nothing you can do. Imagine what that would feel like. Imagine what that would feel like. Now, legally, they can take your child, but lawfully, they can't take your child. And what you must do as a human being is wake up to the fact that there is legal and there is lawful. You are a sovereign being if you decide that you are a sovereign being. If you reclaim your sovereignty. If you reclaim your sovereignty as a divine light, as source, as a soul as an energy source inside a physical body. If you reclaim your sovereignty, they have no power and control over you or your children. But whilst you're sending your children to school, you're giving consent to the government to do what they want to your children. They have passed a new legislation to allow the government to legally steal your children. Now, you may ask, why would they want to legally steal my child? Let me explain to you. And this, for some people, is a hard pill to swallow and something difficult to get your head around. But this is the truth. We are in a spiritual war. A lot of the government officials, bankers, big corporations, the royal family, to name but a few, are controlled by negative beings that are very dark and very evil. And they feed off of human fear. They drink children's blood. They sacrifice children. They rape children. They drink adrenochrome, adrenalized blood. When kids are in fear, they harvest the blood. They drink it. It keeps them young. This is disgusting, but this has been happening for millions of years. And right now it's all coming to a head. Hollywood is Satan's playground. Soon, schools in the UK going back to school, kids in September, is going to be another addition to Satan's playground. There are some schools that are introducing sex education at 5 years old, where they're going to get children to touch each other, to explore each other. They're stripping children of their innocence. But not only that, they now have the right to take the children. Why? Because the negative beings that control this planet, or are still attempting to control this planet, they've run out of food. They have run out of food. So now they're coming mainstream with it. Before, they were taking children. They were harvesting children in underground bases. There's been a military operation for the last 18 months to rescue these children. Their food source is running dry. So now they're coming out from their subterranean bases into the schools to directly steal your children. This might sound like something out of a movie. And you might think, this guy Jerry that is speaking to me right now on the camera is a fucking idiot and he's insane and he should be locked up. Well, let me tell you, when one of your children goes missing, they've been taken in for CV-19 testing, and you can't get access to them, and that access is denied, and the months dwindle away, and the months turn into years, you're going to realize that what I was telling you was the truth. Do not send your kids back to school. Make a stand. We are powerful human beings. And when we rise and we unify in numbers, and we choose love, we choose compassion, we choose safety, we choose unification, unity. We choose love over fear. We stop bowing down to these draconian rules and regulations. We're going to take back control of our planet. You can reclaim your sovereignty. You can reclaim this physical vessel, the land. The land is owned by the Vatican, by the Triple Crown. It's owned by the states. You are property of the United Kingdom Corporation, or property of the Corporation of the United States of America. This information is real, and I want you to go and check this out for yourself. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Don't believe a word that I'm saying. I want you to go and do your own research. Research the Mindspace document 2010. Research the CV-19 legislation document of 2020 that they passed whilst this whole crazy pandemic has been unfolding. whilst people have been running around in masks, thinking they're going to save someone else or save themselves. They've been passing these legislations behind the scenes. It's the same thing that happened when there was the Great Plague, the Black Plague, the Great Fires of London. All of that happened, I think it was 1666. They passed the Settegay Trust behind closed doors. And that is when human beings became property of the state. They passed it when all of that craziness was going on. People were distracted. Now people have been distracted by this so-called virus. They've passed these laws to legally steal your children. So you need to get up to speed. You need to understand the difference between lawful and legal. You are a sovereign cosmic being that came from the stars. If you don't kill anyone, harm anyone, steal from anyone, encroach on anyone else's property, cause distress, duress, you have not committed a crime. All of these legalities are legal, and legalities apply to persons. Okay, the straw man, the fiction, the corporate fiction, your birth certificate, they do not apply to sovereign beings. Okay, agents of the states, policemen and women, soldiers, doctors, nurses, school teachers, they're agents of the state, and they try and enforce legal rules and regulations, draconian rules and regulations. Now they've got one to steal your children. So you need to step outside of that system. And if you've got a child and you send them to school, you're absolutely crazy. And if they come and say to you, we're going to fine you £1,000, we're going to fine you £2,000 for not sending your child to school, it doesn't apply to you because you're not a Mr., you're not a Mrs. A Mr. or a Mrs. is a mystery, and a mystery is a ghost. A ghost is dead at sea, under the rules and the regulations of the Holy See of the Vatican. That is not you. You are a sovereign being. And as a sovereign being, you live by the law of the land, common law, cosmic law. You do not live by these draconian rules and regulations. So my question to you is, are you going to listen? Okay, I don't expect you to believe me, but I want you to feel this with your heart, and I want you to go and do your own research, because come September, if you've got a child in school, they can take your child legally, and there's fuck all you can do about it. Fuck all you can do about it. If you don't like swearing, I don't give a fuck, because this is fucking serious. This is serious. I love you as my sister or brother, and I want you to wake up and smell the coffee. I want you to wake up and see the lies, the corruption. I want you to wake up and see beyond the veil. This whole matrix is crumbling, and these negative beings, these pop stars, movie stars, bankers, rich families around the world, they're running out of adrenochrome. They need more food, they need more blood, and your kids are where they're coming to next. They used to have millions of kids in these underground bases, breeders that were bred for these situations, that were bred for satanic rituals, that were bred to have the babies harvested, executed, sacrificed. There were some of them that were bred just to be tortured. Some of them were bred to be raped. All of that stuff has been dismantled. Their batteries have gone. Their batteries that weren't electromagnetic, they were blood. They were fear, energy. They had batteries inside these subterranean bases, and now they're gone. Now they're coming up above the surface of the planet to steal your children. This sounds crazy, I know. I know how crazy this sounds. And believe you me, I wish we weren't living in these times, but we are. We are, beautiful soul. And we've got to come together as a human species. We've got to say no. We've got to stand strong. We've got to unify. We've got to make a stand. You, me, we're the ground crew here on planet Earth to enforce law and order. Cosmic, common law and order. For those of you that don't know me, I have a healing business and I deal with a lot of satanic ritual abuse. I've had women that have had 7 or 8, 9 babies. Those babies have been removed from their wombs at 8 months. They've been stuck on a barbecue and roasted. And then that young woman has had to eat parts of her baby along with everyone else in the ritual. These young girls have been raped over and over. I've had women that have had their kidneys punctured with a knife and a tube stuck into it and then made to give a man a blowjob. Their nose is held, so the only way they can breathe is through the tube coming out of their pierced lung. Not kidney, their pierced lung. Okay? I deal with hundreds of these cases and they are sick and twisted. There are some horrific men and women, beings on this planet that are doing sick, twisted and evil deeds. You got to wake up and smell the coffee. You got to wake up and see the truth. You got to go into your own heart and search for the answers. You've got to go to Schedule 21, page 233 of the Coronavirus legislation 2020, which was passed during lockdown. This legislation, okay, is in play. This particular act inside this legislation has not been made enforceable yet because the Home Secretary has to enforce a transmission control order. And the Home Secretary can enforce the transmission control order, start it and stop it as many times as they like. So they can start it, they can start stealing kids, they can stop it. They can then start it and stop it. It's like turning the tap on for water. You're thirsty, so you turn it on. You drink, you turn the tap off again. You don't leave the tap running. They can come in and steal your kids for 3 weeks, turn it off. They can come in and steal them for 4 months, turn it off. They can do what the hell they like if you're playing inside this statutory system. So I suggest you do your own homework. If you care about your children, go and do your homework. Don't just switch this video off and think it's another conspiracy theorist. And if you're watching this and you're a parent and you don't share this video, my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've got 2 kids. My kids are 18 and 15 now. I've not sent my kids to school. Well, my son was 8 when I pulled him out of school. My daughter was 10. If they were younger, they wouldn't be going to school. If you have kids and you're planning on sending them back to school in September, don't do it. Do not do it. It makes my blood boil. But at the same time, I'm not tipping into fear with any of this. I'm doing this to make you aware so you can make a better choice. This isn't about being scared. If you send your kids to school, yeah, you should be shitting yourself. You should be scared. But school hasn't started yet. So realize with your real eyes the real lies. And do not send your kids to school. Share the crap out of this video with everyone you know. And let's wake people up. I love you. We came here to be the change that we want to see. So let's start making those changes. The world isn't what it seems. And when you're asleep, it's hard to step into that reality that's so far-fetched from where your belief systems are. I know. I've been there. I'm just so grateful I woke up 14 years ago and I saw the madness. Now it's your turn. I love you as my sister or brother, as one of my family. We are a great big human family and they want to divide us. They want to keep us in fear. When we choose love, when we choose unity, When we unify and we unite as one global family, we become a major force that is unstoppable, immeasurable. You cannot stop that wave of love. Open your heart, beautiful soul, and realize the truth. Share this message. Share it. Share it. And let's let everybody know. I'll see you again real soon. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out.